Alrighty. So today we have Khnum, and I wanted to do an interview with you because I- I'm just really, really impressed with what
Hmm.
you've been doing lately.
Thank you.
You've been a part of Destiny and Techno Tutor not very long. You're quite young. You're 17 years old.
Hmm.
And so I really wanted to take the time to talk to you because there's a lot of other young guys out there that, some are not doing so well, some are trying to figure it out, and they're, kind of making some progress in their life in terms of being successful and stuff. So
Hmm.
I just wanted to make this video to help them out and give them more insight. And if we can accelerate their education process in terms of being successful, you know, I think it's worth some
Yeah,
time to
for
take,
sure. For sure.
uh, yeah, so I guess first question is like, how and when did you discover Destiny and Techno Tutor?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So when and how? I would say it was through a close family friend. He's much older than me, but I've known him since I was seven, through my parents, and we were like really close. Like I call him my brother. Yeah, I still do. Um, and me and him had both been in kind of like personal, like self-development type of thing in order to get better because I had issues and addictions that I was going through. He did too. And so like at the time, like I've known him since I was seven, and he's like never had a car. And so he was like going through every single like spirituality, then like this kind of thing and this kind of thing. And so I'm just kind of like loosely following him in a sense of like just like he would tell me about the next thing and I'll just kind of look into it, but not as deep as he would, just because I was like, I'll just kind of wait to see if it'll work. Um, and then and he was like very notorious for like hopping around. And so I was like, I mean, I had some trust in him because I've known him for so long, right? I had some trust in him, but I also was like, I'm not really gonna go all into anything. And so it was right before my freshman year, like the summer right before my freshman year, and he told me about Destiny and stuff like that. And so I looked into it. I was like the free DIP process, and I did it like one day. I did it like one day, and then like I kind of just like let it go. And then 2 months later, he brings it up again, and then like I start to see like the way he was talking, and he was like he was kind of changing. I was like, huh,
Hmm.
he seems kind of more stable. So I was like, okay, I did it again, and then I waited another 2 months, and then he had a car, and I was like, bro, how did you get a car? And then he starts telling me about how he became a lot more emotionally stable. And I was like looking at how his life had changed since I've known him. And I'm like, okay, this might be something into it. So I started doing it more consistently, um, just like the free self-forgiveness writing process. And that's how I really got into it. It was just because I had a close family friend who I trusted. And it wasn't until I saw the change in him that
Right.
I was like, okay, then this might be something worth looking into.
Right. Cool. Cool. So let's back, let's go back a little bit. Like,
Hmm.
what was your life personally like before you discovered Destiny and Techno Tutor? And we're talking about Kyle, right? Who showed it to you?
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
Kyle.
So before, you knew Kyle for a long time, but
Hmm.
so for you personally, what was life like day to day before you started using and joining Techno Tutor and started using Techno Tutor and being more a part of Destiny?
Oof, dude, it was like a living hell. I'm not even gonna lie, because it was. I mean, I didn't have it as bad as like somebody who was like literally starving to death, but I like mentally it was pretty rough. Um, I would go to school and I would be fine at school, I'm laughing, having jokes, being humorous with my friends. But like growing up, it was like I would have a lot of fun at school. And then I would come home and I would just be like so angry. I would like I have a sister that's like 4 years older, like younger than me. And bro, I was so like I had such like bad anger issues that like I would like yell as loud as like one possibly could at her. Like
Wow.
pretty much like it's like a weekly occurrence type of thing. And we were like actually be fighting. My brother would have to like break us up or stop me or something like that, or stop her. Um, I was like very disrespectful to my mom. Like I would anything that my mom asked me to do, I would just give her like straight attitude. Or like I would like literally disrespect her because I thought I was like smarter than her and like regardless if you are smarter than somebody doesn't mean you should make them like feel bad about it. Um and so yeah, I had major anger issues. I was like I had addictions. It was just really bad. And so I also had this thing where I couldn't I mean, I thought I was better than everybody and smarter than everybody. So even though I wanted to get better, it was hard for me to actually get better because I wouldn't listen to anybody, if that makes sense. Like taking
Yep.
constructive criticism, taking feedback. Um, as soon as somebody gives me feedback, then I'm like, but why aren't you like this? Why aren't you? I'm like, it's
Right.
like, dude, chill out. But it, like life was pretty difficult because even though I kind of thought I was better than everybody, that's not how I was consciously thinking about it. That was running in the unconscious. So consciously, I was just wondering why life was so hard. Like, why are things not working out for me? How can I get better? How can I like I was really good at like book smarts, but I wasn't athletic at all. Like at all. Like if you think about the least athletic person you could ever think of, that would be me. Um, I didn't have any like charisma or like communication skills. Um, like I would just be annoying.
Yeah.
That was it. Like nobody really knew me. It's like all the things that I wanted, I didn't know how to get. I was like pretty rude to people, honestly. It was a lot, and I didn't know how to change or get better.
Mm. Right. So it's like you had this whole persona, if you will,
Hmm.
that you weren't sure, like, okay, where is this coming from?
Hmm.
Why am I like this? And you weren't really getting answers.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
No, I wasn't because a lot of times when you look for that kind of answer, it's like, oh, like what I was told is that either you pray or you have to meditate in order to like change your mind. And like you have to listen to like these freaking frequencies on YouTube or like listen or do like 100 affirmations or, you know, like, write, do a whole bunch of like I give like a lot of different scenarios, but every single time I try and do any one of these things, like, dude, I would like wake up at like 3 in the morning, like I just be like, okay, like how do I change? How do I change? I might do like start doing push-ups and then like or just sit there and just be like, okay, what the hell is going on? But nothing really ever worked. Like no matter how many affirmations, no matter how much meditation, and trust me, like at least one of the things I knew how to do was be consistent. So it wasn't a problem of inconsistency. Like, oh, I just tried it one day. Like, dude, I was meditating every single day since I was 7.
mhm.
That shit didn't work. um, I was doing affirmations. I was doing the frequent. It was like it never. It made me feel good in the moment, but it never actually fixed any problems at the surface. I mean, not the surface, in the foundation.
Yeah.
And that's what I really needed was fixing the problems in the foundation.
Mm. Yeah, because you mentioned conscious and unconscious.
Hmm.
Like this is so important to understand these things because
Exactly.
like you're saying, like you can do meditation, but it's all like conscious work.
Hmm.
But then when you're able to realize or shift that the fact that conscious work is great and like you need to do things, obviously, but
Hmm.
if it's not getting to the deeper part in terms of the unconscious, like if you can call it programming
Hmm.
of like the code that is running within you, you're always gonna just operate off that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's a really good point. that's as going through Testiny and going through Taking Tutor, I started to realize like, oh, there was basically like stuff running within my unconscious that I needed to fix in order for me to be successful, in order for me to be the charismatic person, in order for me to be a leader. I needed to change things that were in my foundation. Otherwise, that's just never going to happen. And that's why you see a lot of people who work very, very, very hard, but they still are never where they actually want to be. And then you have people who work just as hard, but you see them actually grabbing the and hitting the goals and hitting the targets and hitting the success, and they make a business plan and then they actually succeed in the business plan. And so there's a difference. There's something missing there. It's not just about work ethic and not just about like knowing the right information. It's actually like what's going on in the unconscious part of your brain because that's the and your mind, that's the majority of what's actually running your life.
Yep, exactly. Cool. So,
Mm.
y- could you tell me more about like the day-to-day um things that were like sort of holding you in place, and what were the like the consequence day to day before Destiny and Tech Tutor that you were sort of living out? Because you touched on a little bit in terms of, you know, like anger issues and
Mhm.
stuff. Were there any other things that you wanted to change?
Yeah, okay. So I can like go kind of like a specific day to day is so I would wake up and I would wake up late for school. And I'd be like I would always wake up late and then I'm like rushing past I like by the way, like night before, I always try to plan to wake up like I want to wake up at 6. I want to wake up at 6. I want to wake up at 6. And then I'm waking up at like 6:15, 6:30. And I'm always rushing, like throwing stuff in my bag, like running to the bus stop literally every single day. It was terrible. Like every single day I'm running to the bus stop. Then I get on the bus stop and like either I'm like, because it's so humid where I live, Texas, it's so humid
Mm.
like I literally like almost have like a bead of sweat going, or like I have to reapply deodorant or something like that. Then I get to school and like I'm like either brushing my teeth inside the bathroom or like I'm going to get breakfast and I'm kind of like looking around the cafeteria to see like okay who is somebody I'm like vaguely familiar with. I don't know. Um, Especially starting freshman year, I didn't know anybody. I went from a school that had 60 kids to a school that had 1,000 kids in my grade alone. Um,
Wow.
so like as soon as I saw everybody, that's when I had like tons of distractions because girls, right? I mean, I'm in ninth grade. I'm a freshman in ninth grade. I mean, one of the that was like the first thing that I hadn't like wasn't used to because I was used to seeing the exact same people in every single classroom every single day to now every single day I'm seeing a new person. It's like every single day to the end of the year I'm seeing a new person. And so I was so like naive and I had basically no street sense. I got in a relationship within a week of starting freshman year.
Mm.
Um, so like literally I'm already in a relationship. Um, and it was very, very toxic. Like she was bipolar. Um, she was a lot of things, but it's like I didn't see that because I was so naive. I didn't even know what was wrong and what was right.
Mm.
And so, and a lot of times because she was pretty, I just kind of justified it all. Um, and so within 2 weeks, I, dude, it was within 2 weeks, she broke up with me and It's just, it's like it's an embarrassing thing to admit, but she cheated on me like 3 times with the same dude,
Oh my
and I
God.
knew about it every single time, and I like didn't break up with it. So you can kind of see where I was at that moment in
Right.
time where I didn't have I didn't know what to do in relationships because I didn't have a good example. Um, I didn't know how to deal with my emotions because like after that, bro, I was like, if you think about a crash out, like dude, that was like screaming in the pillow, like, punching the bed. Like it was bad, dude. And so like after that, I would kind of come home from school. Then I'm like, I was the only thing that like stuck with me is I had anxiety about getting bad grades. So I only like I would just like if I had to do homework, then I'd do the homework. And then if my when my sister came home, like like everybody's just in their own rooms, like nobody's talking to each other. Um, and I'm like binge watching some anime or like watching Netflix, something on Netflix. I was like really into the CW shows. If my sister would ever ask me to like do one of my chores or my mom, then that's like, why are you even thinking to bother me right now? And so it's like that's when like the whole like madness, like anger stuff starts to build up because like I just want to be in my room, watch my TV, then I want to come out of my room still watching TV, then I'm going to eat my dinner while watching TV, then I'm going to go in my room after eating dinner, then I'm going to be like, um, then it's like either, well, yeah, usually then after that, then it's I started falling into porn.
Mm,
And oddly enough, pretty much every single guy in high school does this exact same thing. And I didn't even know that. So for me, I just hated myself because I did that. Like every single time I did it. Like that was my number one goal was to stop watching that. I like everything I ever tried in my entire life was to end my doing that because I hated myself for it.
mm,
And that's what really like fueled the anger is because I didn't like myself. Because I was like, why do I keep doing the exact one thing that I don't
mm.
like every single day? And so
We
I
have
would
all these bad habits that we're like, how do we get over these habits?
mm, exactly. And I that's why I was trying the meditation. I was trying the push-ups. I was trying like everything that Kyle was showing me because that's the one goal I was trying to get to was to stop watching porn.
Mm,
And so I mean, it was like every single day. I couldn't like I just hated myself over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And so there was like a life cycle of doing that, trying to like read different books and stuff. But you would hear about a book, you wouldn't buy the book. And so it's like watch a couple videos, get inspired, maybe stop for a day and then just go right back into it. And so it was like this constant cycle of doing something that I didn't want to do, but no matter how hard I tried, it's like it's like I couldn't stop. So
mm.
that's how my life was like.
Right. It's Yeah, I think a lot of, people can relate to these points of like bad habits, emotional, struggles, being sort of like constrained in your life, not being able
Hmm.
to have more freedom to change your habits, to develop good habits, right?
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I think, like, so from that picture what your life was like before Destiny and Techno Tutor, and then now, like, and the whole reason I wanted to, do an interview with you is like
Hmm.
how everything has like sort of shifted for you, in
Hmm.
terms of, being introduced to Destiny, getting like you already knew about it for a long time, but you started taking it seriously recently,
Hmm.
um, and then also started using Techno Tutor, the actual tool itself,
Hmm.
um, and then being more involved in the community,
Hmm.
all those things. So
Hmm.
how has like you've gone from that to like how has things shifted?
Well, so I mean, it's shifted in so many different ways, but I guess I the first thing I did was I started using Destiny because I was literally free. And so, and I was broke as hell. And so I started using that. And what it does is it like allows you to become more emotionally stable so you can like, do more things in the world and actually look at different points and stop reacting to so many different things. Like I had such bad anger issues that my friends would say specific things so that they could get me mad. It was like now they call it rage baiting, but it was before rage bait was even a thing. It was like they knew that they could get me mad, so it's like every single day they would like say different things to get me mad just for fun because they thought it was funny. I mean, if it's like if you could just poke like if you just poke somebody and they get like all upset and it's like, okay, bro, like just stop getting upset. But I couldn't control it.
Mm,
And so I was like, I became a lot more emotionally stable. I started listening to the Self Perfected podcast and like started developing an understanding about like how the mind works and why I was doing certain things.
mm,
And then Kyle showed me Techno Tutor, and then I realized, okay, well, that actually makes so much sense. I can reprogram my mind. Basically, if you think of your brain as a computer,
mm.
like doing self-forgiveness is almost like you're deleting the program and like you're hitting the backspace key, and then Techno Tutor is like you're able to type into your computer and reprogram the unconscious.
Mm.
And so that's like truly what you need in order to change and shift. And so when I got Techno Tutor, that was like April of my sophomore year, and I used it for music because I was in band. And like that's kind of what I really heavily focused on was how to be like how to get the best like highest leadership and how to win like basically win all my competitions and stuff like that.
Mm.
And I was able to get if anybody knows anything about band, then you'll know like what this kind of means. I was able to get head drum major for like 2 years in a row. Like the first year I tried it, and then I was also by my senior year I was able to beat the number one like the first chair Team EA All State player at region. So that means like the best person in Texas. I was able to beat him at
Oh,
a
wow.
competition. Um, and so it's like, and like the disparity was freshman year, I was last chair. Like I was last chair, meaning I was the worst player, a saxophonist in the school to now the best, like beating the best person like that's ranked in the state. So
Wow.
there's a major difference where I learned so much about okay, like how to manage time, consistency, how to actually listen. I was finally able to listen and open up my ears to criticism, so that I was able to like push up my learning so much faster. And so um, those are some of the shifts. And I guess another one of the shifts was like I was actually able to be myself, be funny. Like that was one of the that was one of the things that I really, really wanted. Like I fit before Taking Tutor and Destiny, I fit the role of being a nerd. Not funny, all logic, no common sense, and no athleticism. And I used it to like, okay, I want to be more versatile. And so like I actually learned how to be funny, which was something I never thought one could do. I learned how to be funny, which is like hilarious in itself.
Yeah.
I learned how to be charismatic. And so like now it's actually really helping other people step out of their shells and change too. Um, I learned how to start taking more self-responsibility um, and stop blaming other people for my problems.
Mm.
I learned how to just stop watching porn. That was like, like, bro, like, come on, dude. Like, you can't ask for any. Like, I couldn't ask for any more. I'm like, dude, that's the only thing I wanted to stop doing, right? Um, and then also now I'm building a business, right? And it's really crazy to me because I always saw myself like I always wanted to go to college for business entrepreneurship, and then along the line, my plans changed to do it for music. But like originally, I always wanted to be an entrepreneur because I knew I wanted to make some freaking money,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Um, and so what's really cool is that I was actually able to learn and have a community and people like you, dude, who are able to support me, especially at my age, in building a business and becoming an entrepreneur and making the kinds of money that I want to make, and then like even for like scaling that out for the future, right? So now actually able to take, I guess what some people would think is risky, what I think is the only option is to like not even go to college and focus solely on building a business because I know that I have the tools and the community
Mm,
in order to like be completely 100% successful in it.
mhm.
So,
Right. Yeah, it's like, why do you need school and like possibly paying for like accumulating school debt when
mhm,
you can make a simple investment in terms of like having your own business and you get the real time like actual experience of developing, like you said, charisma and
mhm,
confidence. Like those things are
mhm.
huge. Um, and I mean, recently you were able to generate about $8,000 for your for the company. And could you talk about a little bit about that? Like, how did that come about? Obviously, we're not going to share details about like
Yeah.
the nitty-gritty stuff, but like just like generally, like because did like before the group. Did you ever think that was even possible to be able to make that kind of money in such a short period of time? And then what was it like? What was that actually? What did that actually feel like to be able to like make that kind of money in such a like, could you share on that?
Yeah. Yeah, of course. And so, Owen, I'll share with you how, like, before, hell no, I didn't, I thought, what, 8,000 maybe in 2 months? Maybe that's a possibility. Not in a day. Certainly not less than, like, not less than a day. Um, but how that came about was, um, I got in a career opportunity to share the tool, and so I started pushing myself. Like I realized how scared I was to actually do something that mattered to me.
Mm,
Um, I could do stuff that I didn't care about. Like if somebody like dared me to do something that was like hilarious or funny, I could go do it. But as soon as it actually mattered to me and actually is like something I truly do care about, that's when the anxiety came up. I was like,
mm,
dude, where's this coming from? So I couldn't do door knocking. I couldn't even talk to my friends about this kind of stuff. Like it was just like I was just like and not even my own family. So it was crazy like how much anxiety and stuff I had built up around it.
mhm,
But over time, like using the tools and using the programs, I was actually able to like work through that anxiety and actually learn how to push past it and get rid of it. And so it was just literally one of my friends. I was able to build up enough confidence to actually talk to one of my friends who I really cared about. I've known him since middle school and talk to him about something that really mattered to me and show him like, hey, like, well, for hey, this is something that I think that can really help you too. And he saw the value in it, and so he brought it. And so it's just like, dude, that's like it was really surreal to me. Um, number one, because I'm like it's really cool when you're actually able to help people change.
mhm,
Um, and then what was even weirder for me was that like the money, hmm, like it didn't shock me as much because like whenever it's kind of like I was because I had done so much work on the back end to program myself for it. Now that I was already programmed for it, it felt natural to me. It's
right.
almost like
But like, yeah, on that point too, like it's like when a billionaire makes $1 million in a day, that's like
mhm,
it's not like, oh my God, he's like throwing a party and stuff. It's just like that's just a regular day for him.
mhm,
It's just a normal thing when like or like when Michael Phelps, sets a new record, it's like, oh, that's just what I do.
mhm.
Like
Exactly.
it shouldn't be something that's like, oh my God. It should be like, okay, cool, let's build, let's do more, let's do more, let's do more.
Exactly.
Let's help this person, let's help more people. Yeah.
Exactly. And that was the cool part for me. I was like, oh snap, wait. Now you can really see how like my mindset was shifting on how I thought about money because before I thought that making $800 in 2 weeks was really, really, really hard. And now it's like, okay, I just 10x that in like a 14th of the time. And so it's like, and I don't even like, I wasn't even like super duper shocked. Like I was like, I should feel shocked, but I don't because my goal is to help other people. And like I know money comes second from that. And so I'm like, okay, cool. Let's do this. Let's keep building. Let's keep growing. I just like I want more. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. That's awesome. Um, so recently you went to an event. I want to share this and get this on the video because
Okay, go ahead.
it's just so cool. So recently you went to a conference. Could you give us a little let's say a framing before I share the video?
Yeah. So, um, down where I live, there I have like a team that I work with that within my company, and a couple people they were going out to an event, and they sent it in the group chat that we have, and it was like, yeah, yeah, we're going to this event, and I was like, oh, okay, you know what? I'll go too because I know I literally haven't been to a single event in my entire life, so well, I'll go and I'll, try to at least just try to be natural, try to vibe what's going on. So we went to this event called Aspire, and it had a couple people on it that I didn't even know who they were. But at the end, like at the list of all the speakers, there was probably like 10 speakers at the list. At the bottom was David Goggins. And I was like, oh, I know that guy. And I'm like, yeah, he's tough. I definitely want to go to see him. So I bought my ticket. It was like a 3 hour drive. It was it was a cool, fun road trip. And so we get there and like we spend the night in a hotel and it's like there's like mountains everywhere, bro. It was so beautiful. Um, like like everything was like it was crazy. Everything was walking distance. The hotel was like it was so open. It was like and it had like three I can't even really explain it. It was just so big. Um, and so we get all suited up and dressed up for the event. Um, and so like I'm going there trying to network, and I see one of my friends who's is like a veteran, right? He's like really good at this stuff. Um, and like he's like, I think you should talk to that person right there. They seem very open. And I was like, yeah. And so I just keep walking. And I'm like, don't be a bitch. And so I turned around and I go talk to him. And it actually we ended up being like a really, really freaking cool conversation. Um, and I'm like, okay, so my friend actually knows what he's talking about. And it's really cool to see how when you push past your fears, a lot of cool things can really happen. Um, and so, yeah, if you want to play the video, I think, and then I could talk a little bit about what happened around this video.
Okay. So play the video and then you want to talk about it afterwards?
Hmm.
Okay. Let's do this. All right. Share. No, okay. Okay. Let's see. Let's set it up here. Okay. Here we go.
Yeah.
All right. This is on. This is the video here.
Hmm. Wait, talking, Jim. Okay. I'm 17.
So yeah, okay. So you're speaking to David Goggins himself.
Hmm.
So cool.
Exactly. So what was crazy was instead of him doing like a speech and like a motivational speech, right?
Uh-huh.
I thought that's what he was going to do. They actually set it up for him to do a Q&A,
Okay.
but it was like over 2,000 people in the room. And you only, like I say total, you only picked up on about 20. So if you do the math, like you have like a 200th of a, is that a 200th of a chance? I don't know. Yeah, 200th of a chance of getting picked or something like that, right? Um, and I didn't even have a question. And so I really wanted to ask something, but I was like, I don't even have a question. So everybody's like jumping up and down, screaming, like where it's like, "Ah." Pick on me, David. Um, and, like people like literally yelling at the top of their lungs. And so I didn't even have a question. So I didn't even stand up because I'm like, well, I don't even have a question. And then my friend was like a mentor to me. He was sitting right next to me and he was like, okay, this is the question you should ask, and you should probably say that you're 17. And then so I was like, well, damn it. He gave me a question and he gave me what I should say. Now there's no more excuse to not stand up. And so I was like, okay. And then like in that moment, I was like, I don't know. I was like, he's going to call on me. And then so like after about two people later, then he called on me. So
Nice.
let's see it.
Okay. All right.
Hi, David. What's up? Okay, my name's Khnum.
Your face talking jump.
Okay, I'm 17.
17?
Yeah.
God, dog.
Um, Honestly, I'm really excited for the chance to talk to you. Thank you for number one.
Appreciate you.
Number two, I want to ask you because I turned down the opportunity to go to college to pursue my business. The one thing I was the most scared to do.
Right.
I was like, I knew in my head because I was scared to do it, there was a reason I should do it. If that makes sense.
Makes sense. It makes total sense.
So now I'm going into full business. I'm 17. I just want to ask you, from somebody who's had some experience doing something successful for so long, what's something you could give me that I could take and apply?
Oh, this is a great question, my friend. I'm gonna give you the best fucking answer possible. Don't sell people bullshit.
Of
Sell
course.
yourself. Sell the authentic you. Be you, the best. When I came in, so I self-published Can't Hurt Me. I got offered $300,000. I turned it down because my life was painful as fuck. And you give me $300,000. And how it works is they get 85% of your book. Everything you make, they get 85% of. I get 15%. I'm like, motherfucker, you ain't got 15% of all this fucked up shit I got going on. I got 100% of this shit. But you're gonna take 85% of my life. I made the decision right there of, look, I'm gonna be the most authentic person I can be for people. So when you sell shit or whatever you're gonna do in life, you make sure that you are the most honest, trustworthy, authentic person you can possibly be. Have morals, have values, have character. Because everybody that tries to work with you, they will feel that. They will feel that, and they will want your business. They will want to work with you. You're really not a scam artist, a snake, a piece of shit. They will know that you're here for the right reasons because you really want to help people.
Yes, sir.
So that you're around helping others. There's always going to be a benefit for you, obviously, that's business. But you need to first, before you make a fucking dollar in your life, make a model of how can I help others? How can I be an impactful person in my life? How can I, you skipped college. Even though you're only 17 years old, which is crazy, and you're doing your own thing, was already amazing. So congratulations to you. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Number one, the experience was crazy. And number two was I was really glad to hear what he said
Yeah.
because that literally
Really good.
perfectly aligns with why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yep.
Otherwise, like when I said I turned down college, using the tool, I got like really, really, really good at music. And so like there was talks like I kind of overheard like me getting basically like a full ride to U of H for music.
Mm,
And
that makes sense.
so it was like either you audition and you apply and then you get the scholarships, or I like that was one of my routes, or the other route is go help and share other people grow and change just like I did. Um, and I like struggled with that choice because it's like, dude, I could go to college for free, you know,
Yeah.
or like struggle and help other people. And I battled it for a while, but then I finally realized like there's only like really one reason I why I feel like I'm here, like why I do what I do, and that's not only to help myself, but to help all of us get to a place where we can be successful,
Mm,
help other people, and really change. And so
mm,
I was really glad to hear that from him because it kind of affirmed what I was already doing.
mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, yeah, this is
Right.
getting the David Goggins stamp of approval. Let's go 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And I mean, that's why he's so successful. He understands, right? And this was literally just a few days ago, right?
Yeah, it
Like,
was like I think it was like last week or the week before.
yeah, yeah, that's so cool. Um, Nice. It's so amazing, like how you can go from um, this sort of life, and then you find one thing or one group, and it sort of shifts everything for you, you know.
Hmm.
And that's why I'm also passionate about what we do, you know.
Hmm.
Cool, man. Like just like in terms of like wrapping up today's, interview, if you
Hmm.
will. What like excitement for the future, right? Like you're only 17. Like what does the next 3 years look like for you in terms of when you turn 20? And then even like in your 20s going forward after that, like
Uh-huh.
what do you see in terms of like for me, I see a trajectory that's it's gonna be pretty fun and pretty pretty like like prosperous. Like what do you
Yeah.
see for yourself?
So that's actually a pretty cool question. I do think about it a lot, and so I used to think about like when I turned 21, and when I hit that age,
Yeah.
because I've already planned it out, I would have already built out my business to the point where like I'm making well over six figures a month. Um, and there's just like structural things that I've actually already put in place so that way that could happen. Um, and then like that's the point I'd be looking to move out to a house. Like I'd already be living in an apartment. Like that's like I'd already be living on my own. But that's when I'm moving out to a house. That's with by then I'm already in a relationship, um, either married or just about to get married, and then I'm moving out to another city to build out that entire city
Mhm.
of my business. And then like a couple more years down the road at 24, between 21 and 24, start to have a family. And so that I can even push my business even more because now I have to support for even more people and
Yeah.
actually get to enjoy like having a family and being able to support for them, because a lot of times reason people don't have kids that early is because they can't support for them and they kind of want to be ready or they
Mm.
want to live life before that. And it's really cool. It's like I'm already living life right now. Like
Yeah.
I'm traveling here, going to San Diego, going to Miami, going to San Antonio, going to Dallas, going to Austin. And so it's like I'm seeing all these cool sites. I'm like, dude, this is amazing. And I'm just learning, like now I'm learning through mentors, through the community, how to build a relationship, how to build a business. And so that's how I see it
Also,
planning out. You're
Also,
going?
also shout out to your brother. I don't think he's that much older than you, and
Yeah.
he's married. He's also doing really well in doing the same thing that you're doing. Like you're sort of
Hmm.
following in his footsteps a little bit, like his younger brother. You got the older
Hmm.
brother, and you just became an uncle because he just had his own kid.
Yeah.
He has a
Yeah.
wife. Could you touch on that a little bit?
Yeah. It was really cool is that yeah, he just turned 20. He just had his kid. It was a couple months ago. Actually it's his like 3 month birthday today.
Mm.
So I'm really proud of being uncle. It's really cool. Um, and what was really cool is I kind of got into all of this before him. And so he like saw me changing and then he was like, wait, nah, he can't change faster than me. So like we kind of like competed. And
Right.
so because he's older than me, he was actually able to do a lot more before I could. Um, and so yeah, now He's already living out on his own with his wife, with his kids. I mean, the change I've seen in him is just immense. There's actually, I think there's his stories out there on YouTube with, I think his name is Mitchell Snyder and John Anthony Amos. If you look that up on YouTube, you'll actually be able to hear his whole story.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, it's kind of cool how we're both following the same path. And I mean, it's pretty sick. It's like, dude, talk about a family legacy, right?
Yeah. Cool. That's awesome. All right, cool, man. I mean, that's pretty much it. But if you had like a final message that you would give to, let's just say like other 17-year-old young men that are out
Hmm.
there, that perhaps are a little bit struggling, or maybe they're a little bit lost, or what would you say to them? Like, what would you recommend they do?
Um, I would recommend for like, especially when I was in that kind of mindset, don't be afraid to reach out and ask for help. You
Hmm.
can't figure it out all by yourself because if you could, then you would have already figured it out by now,
Nice. Yep.
right?
Yep.
So if you're watching this video right now, reach out to the person that sent it to you and ask about the different things that helped either one of us change.
Mm, perfect.
Actually reach out. Put the ego aside. Stop thinking that you can just figure it out on your own because you really can't. Otherwise, you already would have. So yeah, my final message is reach out.
Hmm. Nice. That's it. And that's a really awesome message because I think especially for guys, it's harder for us to sort of connect with each other. But
Exactly.
but what if that's just a program that it
Mm.
right? What if we have a bunch of limiting programs that keep us where we're at, and it takes a special tool and a special group that would help with that, you know?
What
So,
if?
what if? Yeah.
That's
Cool. All
hilarious.
right. Thanks for taking the time,
Of
Canoe,
course.
and see you on the next one.
Yes, sir, Owen.
Bye.
Bye.